I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know...
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Boxing legends predict that Canelo Alvarez will effectively control Terence Crawford throughout their upcoming matchup, which many consider to be the most significant fight since recent times. Crawford possesses tremendous skills at his elite level.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and at that point it's more of a big fight, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
But Canelo's tremendous fighting skills combined with his size and power might be beyond his capabilities. Multiple past champions, together with analysts, believe that Canelo possesses an undeniable strategic advantage because of his natural weight advantage and solid strength and durability. Throughout numerous years, he has faced elite fighters from both super middleweight and light heavyweight divisions, showing his ability to handle powerful punches from heavier opponents. Professional boxing has not taken Crawford past the 147-pound weight limit.
When he fought Canelo, and he was like standing right in front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight, when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting for.
Finding success against Canelo at multiple higher weight classes represents a major betting challenge for an opponent. This contest mainly depends on power delivery as a dominant factor. His body-focused power represents the major threat that Canelo brings to every fight. Sergey Kovalev and Caleb Plant, together with Billy Joe Saunders, all suffered defeat in fights thanks to Canelo Alvarez's constant advances and body-destroying blows.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. Power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
Mike, I got to do this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said, the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
Yes, I don't know. Guess when we used to having money, it's want to have money. You know, you're not accustomed to that shit, man.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
I don't know, nigga, shit. Listen, if you have money and you can't help nobody with it, what's the purpose of having it?
Elite defensive fighters have battled unsuccessfully against Canelo throughout all 12 rounds of their matches. Crawford excels at counterpunching. Yet, he has never battled a fighter as effective with power and accuracy as Canelo. The durability aspect stands as a primary matter to examine. Canelo has one of the best chins in the sport.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know. So I think, if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So,
but I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure, going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But weight classes,
he's the most composed guy. Yeah. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know.
Seeing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford all in the one place, and I know you put that together. You've played the game, and you put yourself in a position there to sort of create a moment. And there was a few viral moments from that in the clips outside. What's that sort of environment like for you? I get the feeling every time I speak to you, you're so locked in. Do you not feel anything when you're around everybody in the gym and you've got to do them spars?
It kind of just feel it. You know, back in the day, like, if you asked me this question, I probably would tell you, like, oh, it was so amazing. It was, but now I'm kind of so used to, like,
regular.
Yes, it feels so normal. Like, honestly, that's why me and, like, Floyd is so, like, close now, because it's like, I'm a genuine person, and he don't, like, he like genuine people around, so.
He has absorbed shots from some of the hardest punchers in multiple divisions and never been knocked out. Crawford, while an exceptional boxer, has been hurt before, most notably against Egidijus Kavaliauskas. If a fighter at 147 pounds can trouble him, what happens when he's in the ring with a 168-pound Canelo, who throws with calculated fight-ending intent? Ring experience is another crucial advantage for Canelo. He has been in the ring with the best of the best, from Floyd Mayweather to Gennady Golovkin to Dmitry Bivol.
I think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last the last fight, and he don't move that much now. So yeah, if the money is right, I mean, why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
You know, they are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight, but that's why there are weight classes. And he knows now.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over, start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
For 12 years, he has experienced high-stakes combat while actively developing his game from battle to battle. Crawford controls the ring with power, but lacks the same amount of elite-level competition.
It's like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight, and it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question. Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madrimov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
He has never been in a fight against a true superstar of Canelo's caliber. The middle of combat fights sees Crawford making tactical stance changes together with mid-match adaptations. However, Canelo's defensive skills and counter-punching ability neutralize many of the advantages Crawford typically enjoys against smaller or less experienced opponents.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter, like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing.
It's crazy that Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime, and when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy. Even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different.
Canelo is one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and
He's a great fighter himself, so just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter is it's pretty like touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already. If we being real, I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys. I mean, well, Canelo was probably the only one, but he was going out the door.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody else. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Canelo's head movement, upper body defense, and ability to cut off the ring make it difficult for opponents to escape his pressure. Unlike the welterweights Crawford has faced, Canelo won't be intimidated by Crawford's movement or speed. He's seen it all before. While there's no denying that Crawford is one of the most skilled fighters of this era.
So you can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah,
Next.
yeah, for sure.
Robert, what's a smart bet on Crawford Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision.
And you have to bet.
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision.
Crawford by decision.
No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's gonna happen. Canelo's gonna beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, you know, I think Canelo at the end, you know, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably gonna be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not gonna be close.
No, it's gonna be close.
3 weight class?
Maybe 3-4-1. No crees?
Nah.
It's not gonna be that big of a deal. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just
who wins straight out?
I think it's gonna be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2
I don't think so.
I'm telling you.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight. Gary Russell, what do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fights in this level? It's going to be, finally you guys will be, the first time you ever go on a Tank fight, right? To work a corner?
We're a corner at Tank's fight.
Is Tank's the main event?
Yeah. That's going to be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. So yeah, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason, right?
He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
the
heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you
down.
think of that?
I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Lasso, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's just like there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there should be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about Novato?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, it might.
Size matters in boxing. The jump from 147 to 168 pounds is massive, and history has shown that even the best fighters struggle when they move up too fast. Canelo is not just a bigger fighter. He is a stronger, more powerful, and battle-tested champion.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who
I
do you
like Terence. It's
Wow.
my friend, but it's crazy, man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence, it's different, man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
Right.
And
Right.
switch hitter.
Yes.
He's a switch
Yes.
hitter.
Yes.
Yes.
And left. But it's very smart, man. It's very, very, very smart. but feel distance and place.
Adjustments,
Spacing,
exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking, exactly.
Canelo big, Canelo too. It's a good boxer, but I say Terence.
Wow.
He's gonna be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd. And then it's gonna be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Yeah. Right?
Nah. I think Canelo had his time. Yeah, Canelo had his time. Yeah. Just go submit our time. Yeah, for sure.
What made Bomac such a great trainer?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, like DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Isley. Troy Isley is a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin is a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying?
But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
I
up
think it was
Robinson, Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately. He wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight, and he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez,
who has proven himself against bigger opposition. That's why many legends believe that if this fight happens, Canelo will be too much for Crawford. He has the size, power, experience, and ring IQ to impose his will and break down the smaller fighter over time. For Crawford, it would be a daring challenge, but one that may ultimately be too great to overcome.